My name is Dr. Rory Stern from ADHDFamilyOnline.com and the Facebook page Help Your ADHD Child. Now, about that special guest. I am excited to be here today with Bonnie Terry. Bonnie will be talking with us about learning and how to make learning easier for your children that have ADHD. Let me tell you a little bit about Bonnie Terry. As a board-certified educational therapist and learning disability specialist, Bonnie has been teaching for well over 35 years and has been teaching parents and teachers how to make learning easy and fun for their students, whether they have dyslexia, learning disabilities, or ADHD. She has written numerous best-selling books, games, and guides to make reading, writing, spelling, and math easy for kids of all ages. Her students age range from 4 to 65 years old. Her blogs have been named in the top 101 education blogs to follow, and she's in the top 50 special educators to follow on Twitter. In addition, she's a contributing author to numerous education magazines such as CEC Today. On a personal level, when she was in the 3rd grade, reading was hard for her. In fact, reading was also hard for her in the 1st and 2nd grades too. But when she was in the 3rd grade, she was in the lowest reading group, and her teacher told her mom that she needed extra practice. That had never happened to her brothers or sisters. It was bad enough that reading was hard, but now Bonnie didn't feel like she was good enough either at home or at school. And you can imagine that feeling of not being good enough and how it carried over to many parts of her life, and she doesn't want that to happen to any child. Fortunately, like many of you who are on the webinar today, Bonnie had a mom who cared. With her help, reading became easier and learning eventually became fun. So today, Bonnie wants to give all of you the opportunity to transform your belief in what is possible for you and your child and bring those big dreams into reality. Bonnie's life's work as a learning disability specialist as well as a mom has been to make learning easy for everyone. Now, what if your child has dyslexia, a learning disability, ADHD, or is simply falling through the cracks? There is not only hope, there is a solution. For the next 45 minutes or so, I'm going to ask Bonnie to help us understand why our kids may be struggling in school, as well as how you, as a parent, can help your child succeed in improving learning skills, reading skills, and writing skills. So welcome again to all of you that have joined us on this webinar, and welcome, Bonnie.
Well, thanks so much, Roy, for those kind words.
All right. So parents of children with ADHD know their kids often struggle with learning and often feel that ADHD is the reason for the learning problems. Do you find that this is the case, or is something else causing the learning problems?
Well, that's a great question. Let me start off by saying that according to the national statistics, 70% of students are not proficient in reading, in writing, and in math. That's 7 out of every 10 students. Obviously, all of those kids don't have ADHD. There is something else going on. There is something interfering with learning, and it doesn't have anything to do with the ADHD. In fact, over 75% of my students over the years have had ADHD, but that wasn't why I was seeing them. I was seeing them because they were struggling with learning reading, writing, spelling, or math. Homework time was difficult. School was a struggle. What I found out over the years is that there were some underlying root causes of learning problems that were not being addressed. Parents and sometimes even teachers don't always realize what can be the real learning problem, the underlying root cause of the learning problem. They just chalk it up to your kid has ADHD. I'm not going to expect much of him. After all, he's an ADHD kid. Often parents, often parents don't even want to tell the school. Keep it a secret.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I love that word root cause. It really speaks to me because that's how I was doing work with the kids that I was seeing in therapy. They'd come in with this diagnosis of ADHD, but oftentimes we were talking about other things. So you have to look at the root cause. So from your perspective, your angle of being an educator, a teacher, what else is going on as you see it?
Well, the reality is that we learn through the senses, and whether you have ADHD, dyslexia, a learning disability, Asperger's syndrome, even a developmental disability, we all learn through the senses. So what's going on is that one or more areas of the senses aren't working as efficiently as they could, should, and can.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Like learning through the senses? I have an understanding of that, but just in case it's not clear to everyone.
Sure. Well, I think most of us know we have 5 senses, taste, smell, seeing, hearing, and doing. And the doing is, the more technical term for that is called tactile kinesthetic. But within each of those, there's subcategories, and I know that can be kind of a little bit difficult to wrap your mind around. So I'm going to give you a couple examples. I mean, you all know with taste, we can taste things that are sweet or sour or salty and bitter. And we often choose according to those unique tastes. For example, potato chips or popcorn for the saltiness, ice cream for sweetness, lemons if we want something sour, and of course chocolate can be bitter or sweet. The same thing's going to happen with the sense of smell. You know, you can have the wonderful smell of cookies baking, or rancid spoiled food, or something savory like a turkey dinner cooking, or sweaty like a locked room, or noxious like ammonia. There's all different smells, and of course they all affect us and actually affect learning too. So that's just taste and smell. You know, we have all these subcategories, and they do affect learning, but they're going to affect learning to a lesser effect than seeing the vision system, hearing the auditory system, and doing the tactile kinesthetic system.
Yeah, I love this concept. So are there other areas or subcategories in the vision system too then?
Yes, in each of the systems there's going to be 9 subcategories. You know, just like taste has 4 areas, and we can detect thousands of different smells and odors in the olfactory system, the sense of smell. The vision system is going to have 9 specific areas that impact learning. And the hearing system, auditory, is going to have 9 areas, and the doing, the tactile kinesthetic, is also going to have 9 areas.